Oh, my, oh my Lord. Oh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash.
This is Denny Hendricks.
And you're listening to
And you're listening to
the Run and Gun Podcast.
Awesome. We are now in the pre-show. So, folks, without further ado, welcome to Penalty Talk. I'm Jay Peeps. That's JC over there. And tonight we have a very special guest. We've got former FAMU quarterback, former NFL quarterback, 2020 MEAC Hall of Famer, and current Alcorn State quarterbacks coach, Quinn Gray, joining us this evening. What's going on, Coach? How you doing?
Man, I'm here. I just really want to start off by asking what band is that's playing that melody that y'all introduction? Because that ain't the Marching 100.
Wait a minute.
That is the Marching 100.
Wait a minute. Are you gonna get us for copyright infringement?
Hold up.
No, it didn't start. That must be a different tune of the Marching 100. It didn't.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, it's one of them days, Coach.
Okay, that's the chopped and screwed version. All right, I got
you. Hey, listen, hey, that's the J specialty now. Come on now.
That's right. Oh. That's right. But I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Let's have some fun.
Check the bottom. Yes, sir. Our guest this week is Alabama State University's quarterbacks coach.
Alcorn State.
Why'd you tell me Alabama?
I said Alcorn State.
Coach, man.
You gotta do your own background check, bro.
Coach, man.
You can't be relying on nobody.
You right.
I got the message right here.
You're right.
I got the message right here.
Lord, get that out of here. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining our show. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We've been going through some stuff here, but it's going to be a fun show right now with Quinn Gray,
the Honorable
quarterbacks coach of Alcorn, the Honorable Quinn Gray, quarterback coach of Alcorn.
That would be Alcorn as well. Alcorn, not Alcorn. Alcorn.
Oh, Lord. Come on now.
You got to get it
right,
right,
what
brother.
I did before the show started.
If you gonna say it, you're gonna say it right. It's Alcorn.
All right. I just won't say it again, Coach. I just won't say it.
Could you spell it for him, Coach?
A-L, all, C-O-R-N, corn. Alcorn.
We're messing up all the way around, Coach.
Oh man, but it's all good. We on the roll already. We good.
It can only go up from here, for real.
So with this first quarter now starting, my first question is this: what was it like playing for Billy Joe in that Gulf Coast offense?
Man, it was wonderful, man. The ability to play in an offense that was sort of kind of at the time revolutionary was something that was exciting and fun to be a part of. Because what a lot of people don't know is during that time, Coach Billy Joe, his brother, Coach Jimmy Joe, they allowed us to call our own plays as quarterbacks. It started with the evolution of the Gulf Coast offense started with Mario, my homeboy Mario, in the what was that bowl? The Heritage Bowl. Yeah. Mario Allen in the Heritage Bowl against Southern, and FAMU was a running team, and then they went to a 4 wide and opened it up in the Heritage Bowl and scored 40-something, 50-something points. and then it took off from there with Oteem Sampson the next 2 years, and Oteem's senior year, which was my true freshman year. Coach Billy Joe usually takes a quarterback that he thinks is going to turn into something and puts him in the press box with him because he coached from the press box. And I was able to learn and get valuable experience in seeing the defense and how things worked in real time, you know. So what ended up happening midway through that season, because Coach Billy Joe would call plays and send them down, and what would happen is he would call a play based upon what he saw and what he thought, and Oteem would always check off to something different because by the time he called the play, or Coach Billy called the play, the defense would be doing something different. And so by mid-season, Coach Billy Joe said, well, hey, James, he called his brother James. He said, James, let him just have it and let him call it. And, you know, that's where everything started. And by, I think, game 4 going into, I think, Southern Week, which was homecoming that year, Oteem Sampson was calling the plays, and every quarterback after that came in was calling his own plays and moving the offense up and down the field. So it was fun, man. I had a great time with it. It allowed me to, you know, put myself in a situation in a position to afford an opportunity to play in the NFL and things like that. So, you know, it was a wonderful time for me.
Nice. And actually, I want to share something nostalgic. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You good, man? Go ahead.
So I have this game program from your senior year, actually, still. Call me crazy.
Crazy.
But I have the game program from 2001. Still.
Wow.
Couldn't even watch it.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, we always kept game programs around the house, but you know, I mean, that's just something I got to show him. I got to show it to him. But
that's right.
Jason,
that's awesome.
He wants you to sign it. That's what he really wants.
And I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. As soon as I see him, I sure will.
That's pretty cool, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Every time I try to ask a question, man, come on.
Stop drinking. Go ahead.
See, now you gonna make me grab it on camera. Listen, you mentioned your NFL days, and I want to ask you, can you give us an unfiltered view of the NFL locker room? Like, what's that like? What's the atmosphere around it? What's it really like?
It's a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but it's a collaboration of some millionaires and some guys that make good money, and they have a good time doing the thing that they love. And that's the unfiltered part about it. You know, you got your jokesters, you got your 10-year vets that are more serious and family oriented. You got your rookies that come in and don't know a whole bunch, and then you got your guys that are 2 or 3 years, 4 years in, that are just finding themselves and still having fun with it, that still like and may be single and still like to do different things and all that. So, man, it's a conglomerate of professional guys from different parts of the country, and they come together for one common goal, and that's to try to win the Super Bowl. And the team that comes together the best and is able to put all that stuff together and able to gel the quickest and the fastest and put it all on the field together, that's the teams that win the Super Bowls. That's the teams that are consistently winning. Those are the franchises that are consistently putting people in the Pro Bowls and things of that magnitude. So my NFL experience was wonderful. Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, Mark Brunell, David Garrard, Byron Leftwich, Marcus Stroud, all those guys, Mike Peterson, Deion Grant, all those guys, man, were wonderful teammates, guys that I keep in touch with to this day. And, you know, that experience was one that I'd never trade in for the world.
because we got 2 minutes left, I got to ask this question, and because you've played in it and you've coached in it as well, and I got to ask, like, what from your perspective, having coached and played, what do you feel is missing, or what do you feel needs to happen in order to finally see FAMU snap this 9-game losing streak they have against Bethune in the Florida Classic?
To be honest with you, man, I think it was the same thing that Bethune had to snap when we were playing. Just the ability to get over the fear of losing. I think, once somebody has your number, it's hard to have confidence going in, regardless of your record and all that good stuff. FAMU went in there, I think 9-1 at the time, and was beating everybody and had beat A&T again. But, that's that sort of kind of stage fright of the Florida Classic in terms of knowing that you hadn't beat this team in 9 or 8 years at the time, and going in there with that pressure of trying to end that, that's one of those things where it's sort of kind of that stage fright, and you got to be able to get over that. It's just that thing, that thing where when you're winning it, you got all the confidence in the world, and until and if you're losing it, it's that thing that's always in the back of the mind that I don't want to mess this up. And then you end up doing that because it's in the back of the mind, and it ends up happening. So, and I think it'll happen for me, it'll happen this year. It's just me talking as a FAMU and nothing else, and knowing nothing else, but just having that confidence in Coach Simmons, and knowing that he's going to have those guys ready, and he's going to get them prepared for that game this year and get it done.
You're inside the Run and Gun Podcast, live on Twitter at Penalty Talk.
That was right on time.
You know that means the quarter's
I
ended?
saw the time, brother. I saw the time.
Yeah,
I saw the time.
He's seasoned.
I forgot you a quarterback. That's right.
He's always looking at the clock. Yeah.
Gotta keep my eyes on the play clock, bro.
Right.
I got to spill this one over though into the HBCU topics, because I know
you're
you're at Alcorn. I know you're at Alcorn, and I know y'all are the headliners of the college football weekend, because y'all play week 0 against North Carolina Central. Y'all are bringing in this whole thing of football being back. What can we expect from Alcorn this season?
I mean, I think you can expect what you've seen from Alcorn over the last several years. A disciplined football team that likes to go out and compete and have fun playing the game of football. Returning so many guys from the championship team of 2019 is very key to our success, to be honest with you. There's not a big curve or learning curve that we have to go through with teaching new guys. And we graduated 10 guys, but they didn't go anywhere simply because of the issues of COVID and things like that. So I think we'll end up having a total of 17, if I'm not mistaken, 18 guys that'll be playing as grad students this year. 2 of them in my quarterback room with Felix Harper, who's the returning 2019 SWAC Player of the Year. So, going into the season, we're very confident with the guys that we have, because we got a great group of guys coming back, and we're looking forward to the challenge of moving to the West. Coach McNair has been harping upon making sure that we're focused in on what it is that we have to do to prepare our guys, and we're doing the best that we can to make sure that we're going to have them ready to go.
Nice.
Since he got a question, can I get a question?
Go ahead.
All right, cool. So, SWAC champions for the past 2 years, and then COVID happens, no football, and there is a new SWAC champion. Is there a chip on your guys' shoulder about that? Like, they weren't, their SWAC title was lost, and they didn't even get they didn't play for it?
You know what? It's funny you say that, because we hadn't been beat for someone to be called SWAC champions, but
Ooh.
I will say this: they earned it in the season that they played this year, so you have to give them credit
You're
for that.
inside the Run and Gun Podcast.
But we definitely feel like somebody has something that belongs to us, and Coach McNair has very, very much harped upon that to our guys, and that's definitely something that's in the back of our minds, that somebody has something that belongs to us, because we know, had we played or participated in the spring season, it wouldn't have been any doubt in our minds that we would have been 3 in a row. So with that being said, we're looking forward to going into this fall and competing in the West, because we were the beast in the East. Now we're going to try and take it over and be the best in the West. So that's our main focus, and, that's what we're looking forward to.
Coach, how did you feel this spring about this going out over social media?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Whoa, Tiger kick. Oh, man. What was that about?
When they beat.
Oh, that's when he beat Deion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? To be honest with you, man, I think Deion coming to Black College was something good. But I think what he has to realize and understand that and this is no knock against him, it's just the situation that he's put in, because he's taken a position that a lot of guys have been working towards all of their careers. And I think, and it's the same thing. It ain't just him. I think it's the same thing with Eddie George. Those Black college jobs are very sought after by guys that have sort of kind of worked their ways through the ranks over the years. And for what would be considered outsiders to come take those jobs from somebody that may have been deserving, he has to understand, and I'm sure he does, that there's going to be a target on his back. And for that reason, and for the simple fact that he's an NFL Hall of Famer, just for if it's not for the fact of he took maybe an opportunity for somebody that may have been more deserving, but he's deserving too, because obviously he got it. So just for the fact that he's a Hall of Famer coaching, there's going to be guys that feel that they need to try and out-coach him just to say that they out-coached Deion Sanders or Eddie George, because they're NFL Hall of Famers. So, when it comes to that stuff, man, there's going to be the way people talk in the SWAC. That don't surprise me. It surprised me coming from the MEAC, because I know the MEAC talks smack sometimes, but these folks in the SWAC, boy, they gets it down, and they don't have no filters. So when it's all said and done, man, I know FAMU people talk mess, but they better have their hat and their coat ready, because these folks in the SWAC, they gets it in.
Yeah, from what I've seen recently, it's like they say, it's rough in the SWAC. And
no question.
Crazy thing about it is Akil Glass he recently won the 2021 Black College Hall of Fame trophy, Deacon Jones Trophy. So congrats to him.
Wait, hold on. Since we asked this, hold on now. We asked other coach, what's your feeling on Akil Glass?
In terms of what?
Is he the best black college football quarterback?
He's the truth.
No question. Now he's a good quarterback. He has the tools. He has the prototypical size and all that good stuff, and what they're looking for in terms of NFL standards. So to me, there'll be no question in my mind if he has a good year this year, that he'll probably be a draft pick this upcoming spring. But because he has the arm, he has the intangibles that they're looking for when it comes down to it, and just for the mere fact that there's not this draft coming up doesn't have the depth at quarterback on the college level that has been maybe in prior years, he may even go higher than some people may expect because of his size and his ability to put throw the ball downfield and be accurate with it. I saw him play twice this year, once against Jackson and then again in the SWAC championship. And I was impressed with him, man. He's a good quarterback. He plays the game with a chip on his shoulder, and he has fun with it. So I think he'll be a name that you'll hear on draft day that's called, as long as he stays healthy and he's able to do the things that he's been doing in the past.
I was hoping, because I was just checking the schedule for you guys, I was hoping Alabama A&M was on the schedule. Unfortunately, they're not.
Well, fortunately for them, they aren't. But at the end of the day,
that's what I'm talking about.
it is what it is. And maybe we'll see them in the SWAC championship when it's all said and done. I'm sure Coach Maynard, he's a great friend of mine. Him and I, we went into the MEAC Hall of Fame together last year. It'll be fun to go up against him in the championship if it comes to that.
Coach, just tell him how you really feel.
I got soul, and I'm super bad.
Go ahead and use this time. You can tell them how you really feel now, Coach, before we get to halftime. Go ahead.
Man, one thing you guys will find about me, I'm a confident dude. I've always been that way, man. I got that confidence while I was at FAMU, man. We just felt like we couldn't be beat. We were going to talk like we couldn't be beat, and until you beat us, we was going to continue to do that. And I feel the same way with my guys at Alcorn, man. Those kids, they put in the work. Coach McNair does a great job of leading us as coaches, and our coordinators do a great job of putting great plans in, man, and we just looking forward to the season.
Watch me!
I feel that. Okay. Like that's something interesting that, as we transition to the third
You're
quarter.
inside the Run and Gun Podcast, live on Twitter at Penalty Talk.
I will say that before we transition to the NFL, that's something, because my father actually played at Albany State. He said that confidence that you guys have at FAMU, that's something that even he dealt with when he played against FAMU back when FAMU was playing at Doak. Because he said, like, whenever they would line up across from them, the guys would always tell him before the snap, you're not going to beat us, right? You're not going to beat us. We're going to win today. And
it's not, I don't think it's cocky or arrogance. It's just a confidence that we always had because of the work that we put in, and the stuff that Coach Billy Joe instilled in us to have that never say no or never have doubt attitude, man, which is, in my opinion, back then, that's why we never lose a Florida Classic. Despite what Coach Wyatt would say at the dinners or whatever the case may be, he fired up his team, but at the end of the day, he was firing us up right with him. And with that, the difference between the two is we believe we could win. At that time, they didn't. So, when you believe you can win, you go in there with a chip on your shoulder and you're able to perform differently. When you don't know if you can win or not, then you go in there timid and not knowing and being a little bit gun shy. So when it's all said and done, the guys that I coach, we're going in there knowing that we could win, knowing that we could do what it is that we've been coached, and we're looking forward to any challenge that's presented to us.
I like it. And with that brings us now to the NFL. So I'm gonna start out with this. Justin Fields he's been brought into the development timeline. He's bought into it. They've set a timetable for him by the Bears organization. Matt Nagy says, barring any unforeseen regarding injury to Andy Dalton, Justin Fields will be on the bench this year. So how do y'all feel about that?
I actually like it. Say what you will. I like it.
I mean,
ahead, Coach.
I like it as well, because it gives him an opportunity to learn the NFL game. there's only been a few examples of guys who were thrown in the fire early that were successful in the NFL. Peyton Manning is the one that comes to mind right away in terms of him going basically 0-16, 0-15, or 1-15, and then the next 2 years, turning that thing completely around. But that's an example that's once in a lifetime. All of the other guys
Russell
that have
Wilson.
really been successful, Russell Wilson is another one. The Aaron Rodgers of the world, the Patrick Mahomes of the world, those guys that sat for a year
Tom Brady.
or more, that sat for a year or more, that got that experience, were able to sit back and see how things were done by a professional, by a guy who's been doing it for a while, and able to apply the things that he's learned to his game. And for Justin Fields and maybe some other guys, I think, it gives them the opportunity to just sit back and learn from maybe some good things and some bad things, because I know there's going to be some bad things that happen and there's going to be some great things that happen. The kid in San Diego is another example of somebody who took over the reins after I think three or four games and was able to apply. Although it was 3 or 4 games in, he still was able to sit for those 3 or 4 games and learn. And he was able to apply the things that he saw from Tyrod Taylor and utilize those things to his advantage and apply what he learned to the game that he plays now. So I think it's a good thing, and I think it's going to work out for him in the long run.
I think it's a good thing, but I think with Tyrod Taylor got hurt. That's why Justin Herbert came in, right?
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Matt Nagy's head is already on the chopping block. So you let Andy Dalton have 2-3 bad games, that whole theory that he put out there, I believe Justin Fields will be thrown to the wolves in no more than 3 to 4 games.
That's the problem, though, because if he throws them to the wolves, though. Go ahead.
Well, the thing about that is, if he has 2 or 3 bad games in a row, then at that point, Justin Fields can have him saying 2 or 3 bad games as a rookie, and he can be learning from those instead of sitting the bench. You know what I mean? So if you got a veteran that's going to be doing some rookie stuff and making the same mistakes a rookie would make, well, let the rookie go in there and make the mistakes and learn from them. It's the same thing as if I had a senior quarterback and I had a freshman that was promising, and the seniors in there making mistakes that are, sort of kind of pointless and careless or whatever the case. I got a freshman that I think can do the same thing, and he'd probably make those same mistakes as well. But at the end of the day, I got 3 more years with that guy to teach him how not to make those mistakes. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations where if he's not playing well and your job's on the line, I'm going to go ahead and make that switch.
Yeah, throwing them to the wolves this early does not suit, because if you throw them to the wolves, right, and all hell breaks loose, you're fired, more than likely. But if you let Andy Dalton play, you have 2 options though. Andy Dalton plays good, you look like a good coach. Andy Dalton plays bad, you decide, play the rookie.
Okay.
Rookie makes rookie mistakes, but the outlook is better.
Let me throw in a little bit of positivity here. I am positive that if Andy Dalton starts, Matt Nagy will either get fired in the middle of the season or at the end of the season. I just don't see Andy Dalton having a good year in Chicago. Now, I don't know if it's a lack of confidence or Dallas was just that bad last year that Dalton looked as bad as he did. But he looked like he did coming out of Cincinnati his last year or so.
I think it was a situation.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those situations, just like maybe the Cam Newton situation in New England. You're talking about a COVID year, going to a new team, learning a new scheme, and you're not necessarily comfortable with being in that scheme and running it. So I think last year's season with new quarterbacks that went to new teams was sort of kind of an anomaly. But for him this year, having an off season, being able to be there and learn the system through the off season and have OTAs with those guys and working through things. Last year he wasn't able to work with his wideouts. He wasn't able to get with the coaches. He wasn't able to be face to face. Whereas this year he's able to do all of that. I truly think that it'll be a lot better for him, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I don't think Andy Dalton is necessarily a super bad option at quarterback. There are definitely better options.
Yeah.
But his year last year doesn't equate necessarily with the COVID thing, right? And then also the injuries, so he wasn't able to get the full feel of it, right? I mean, change of scenery is nice.
Bro,
He gets another opportunity.
No, I think there might be a better option sitting between the two of you all right now.
Oh, yeah.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Them days over, player. maybe 10, 11 years ago, but
come on, I know you got one. I know you still got one good knee.
Listen, I got one handoff for you, dog, and that's about it. And I ain't carrying out the fake.
Wow.
Wow. No, man. One thing about it, man, I'm honest with myself, and that's sort of kind of one of them things when my career ended. You know what I mean? When in 2009, when I decided to retire, December, our season ended in December of 2009. January of 2010, I was already volunteering back at FAMU. And by March of 2010, I was a head coach at a high school already. Man, I wasn't about to be one of them workout guys. I'm going to work out for 2 years and see my phone. No, man, I knew where my life was headed, and I went on and got into it, man. I wasn't doing all that.
Amen.
I can only imagine a quarterback in the huddle looking at the running back going, "You going to take this ball. I got one hand up, and there ain't no fake. You going to take it, and you going to run, and I'm going to get off."
Straight up.
And then afterward, he looking back at you, saying, but the screen was open. That's why.
And that brings us now to the NBA. And, one thing I want to talk about is that Hawks 76ers game,
That's what you want to talk about? Not the Suns? Not the Suns.
Didn't make a single field goal or even make an attempt.
Well, you talking about Ben Simmons?
Yeah, he'll be in China next year.
He talking about Ben Simmons.
No,
not the way his contract works.
I didn't necessarily follow the 76ers. I didn't see that game. I didn't, but the flack that he's getting behind it, man. It seems as if he should have. I don't know, man. It must have been pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
Over the course of all 7 games, he shot, I believe, a combined 3 shots, right?
Something like that. Yeah. That one where he passed, that one where he made the pass when he had a wide open dunk.
He had a wide open dunk.
There's a meme going around where he's standing there holding the ball and they have this flowery music behind him saying, "Anyone can dunk, but in a high pressure situation, who cares enough about their team to make the pass?" Just like, are you kidding me?
It was because they went from when he first got in the league, it was like he doesn't shoot 3-pointers. To now, fast forward to this point, it's like he won't even take any shot at all. So I'm like, what happened?
Mm-hmm. I will say that
there's obviously some confidence thing that's going on or something going on with his mental, man, that's keeping him from being able to perform and having the confidence to take those shots. So hopefully, this off season, whatever it is, he can get with maybe a sports psychiatrist or whatever the case may be, so he can talk about whatever he's going through.
Coach, you didn't say a sports psychologist. You went right to the psychiatrist.
I mean, because a lot of times it's mental, man. A lot of times people don't understand what these professional athletes go through. it can go anywhere from, family issues to on the court issues, and all that stuff can affect you, man. And the only way for you to be able to possibly deal with it and get out of it, man, and come up out of it is to talk to somebody and go through some type of exercises to make sure that they're helping you get through those times. Because, if you didn't hear Dion on the I Am Athlete podcast, I think 2 weeks ago, there was a point where Dion tried to commit suicide.
Yes.
Who'd ever thought
remember
Deion Sanders tried to commit suicide? You know what I mean? With the success that he had and who he was at the time, you never know what people are going through, man. So you can't necessarily just say, oh, he's this, he's that, he got this, he got that. Just because you got money don't make you happy.
And he
you know
did
what
that.
I mean? Just because you're a professional athlete doesn't make you a person that's having a great time doing it. You know what I mean? You got more young athletes these days retiring after 2 and 3 and 4 years than you've ever had in the history of the game. So, different people go through different things, man, and you got to be able to deal with them in the best way possible.
Well said.
I have a question for you, Coach, if they'll let me throw one in.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
As a professional or a collegiate athlete, I guess you can throw high school in there as well, but I'm really thinking more on the lines as a professional. What was your hardest, roughest moment, and how did you overcome it to push through and keep playing?
My hardest and roughest moment was I had my my practice squad year in 2003, and then in 2004, I was on the active roster. I made league minimum at that point, so it brings me to the time when I think it had to be. We went to camp in late August or early August. And by May of that year, I was dead broke. I didn't know how to manage money. I had never been taught how to manage that type of money. I thought I could go out and do anything that I wanted with that money. And I was dead broke, actually borrowing money from teammates at the time and not understanding, the value of having people in your corner that were rehearsed in that area in terms of financial advisors and guys that would help you manage your money. I think that for me was the hardest time in my professional career when I was dead broke and didn't have money to pay rent, pay my car note at the time, or anything like that. And it was probably the hardest and the most embarrassing time of my life at that time. But with experiences come education. I was able to talk to some of my teammates and find out how they did different things, put myself on an allowance for the next several years and all that good stuff. And after that, I was able to manage my money and take care of some folks in my family at the same time and still be able to do the things that I wanted to do, all while being able to do the right thing with my money.
Wow.
Come on, guys. Jump in there because I got more questions. So jump in there.
I mean, that was deep. That was deep. The Clippers and Suns series in the Western Conference Finals.
That's what I want to talk about. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That last second dunk. Hell,
that was
not
nice.
dunk. Alley-oop. Come on now.
That's
got to be one of the most exciting finishes that you've possibly seen in a while.
It is. It's everything in that play went exactly how it had to go for it to be successful. If anything was off by an inch, that play wouldn't have gone the way that it went. It was a magnificent play. Everybody was surprised by the play. It looked like hell, he threw the ball right in the hole. But taking a second look at it, his pass was absolutely phenomenal and on point and exactly where it had to be for that play to count with 0.8 seconds. Because, as soon as somebody touches that ball with 0.8 seconds, that clock is going off. So you got to throw it at the rim in an alley-oop type situation or a catch and release. But, at the end of the day, man, it was a phenomenal play and one that probably won't be made ever again, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I thought the most exciting part in the playoffs was the choking of Kevin Durant.
Listen, hold on. You can't say choke because he was doing everything by himself anyway.
Right. I don't know if that. Hell, he sent you to overtime. It's just him. What you want? I mean, Jesus Christ, y'all. The man did everything in his power to get you there. He scored 50, got 3,500 rebounds the last game, and assisted on 2,900. What else y'all want from the man? Golly.
Make a shot in overtime.
He missed the shot. He made the shot to send it to overtime.
Hold on. I'm going to use my one curse word for this show.
Don't do
Damn it.
Oh.
Ain't no way you expect this man to be able to manage all of this the whole time, right? Playing by himself, essentially, for the Nets. And have to manage the fact that he wearing some size 18 shoes and he's on the inch by a centimeter. He's on the line by the centimeter.
Right.
My thing is, I want to know this.
You can't hang hard for that. What was that?
You said what?
Why James Harden give the ball up? He could have took the shot.
Because James Harden wasn't confident enough in that moment because of his injuries. In my opinion, I think he knew that KD had the hot hand at the time, and then KD had just made the shot at the end of regulation and descended to overtime. So why not go back to him?
You're inside the Run and Gun Podcast, live on Twitter at Penalty Talk.
Well, folks.
All right, cool. I got it.
Great things come to an end. We want to thank Coach Quinn Gray. Coach, where can we find you on Twitter, Facebook, or on Instagram?
Man, at Coach Q Gray on Twitter, and I think at QG5 on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. But
was that your line name?
Let's do it. That was my what?
Was that your line name, QG5?
What line? Me, player.
That's what I'm talking about.
No player.
Hey, the quarterback did not. What?
QG5, Quinn Gray 5. I was number 5 when I was in the pros. So that's where it comes from.
I want to thank you for joining us. This has been a wonderful show.
Me, dog.
Me. Hey, you went to school for an education, not the pledge. I got you.
That's right. Absolutely.
I want to. Ooh. Oh, what's up? Sorry for the bit of lateness. There's been some technical difficulties, but we are beyond that now.
Yes, sir.
I'm JC.
I'm J Peeps. Welcome to another episode of the Running Podcast.
Wonderful episode for you today. Lots of stuff to talk about. An amazing episode. Lots of stuff to talk about.